Hey folks, it's Fist-25 back at you with another Drake interplanetary ship review. This time it is on the Drake Herald with its gigantic engine in the back and its little brother right under it, as you can see. We're going to get this video started right now. Alright guys, thanks for coming back to the channel. I appreciate it. I want to say a special shout out to our patrons, Blackstar, Skidmark, and Cindy. And let's get into this video. So the Drake Herald, we can't spend too much time here at Everest Harbor or they will impound the ship. But man, this ship is crazy. For a long time I just didn't like it, but I kind of really enjoy the concept of it now. Mostly, I think, because when the MSR came out, it kind of gave it more purpose. And knowing that hacking type of gameplay and data running is going to come and be a thing here very soon, it's kind of more appealing to me now. The Drake Herald is a small armored ship designed to safely get information from point A to point B. It features a powerful central engine for high-speed transit and generating the power needed for effective data encryption and containment. Advanced encryption software and an armored computer core, the Herald is unique among personal spacecraft in that it is designed to be easily cleaned when in danger of capture. Notably, data running and hacking are not implemented in the game yet, so the ship doesn't really have all its intended functionality. So as we take a look at the starboard side, you can see there is in fact a door on the starboard side of the ship, which is kind of rare and kind of weird. We can see up front with the nose, I do have I have gimbal weapons on here actually. Kind of has a slick profile. I have equipped this ship in a stealth configuration because it kind of comes with a bunch of stealth parts, and I like that this could be a stealthy ship. As we come along the fuselage, we can see its big hydrogen intakes there, all the Drake markings. It looks like probably some kind of data pods, data system, and it's maybe where it stores that data. Some kind of an antenna array. Yeah, the SATA M6A1, I believe, is for its long-range broadcast, which isn't a thing yet in the game, but one day it will be. As we come around the back, it is it's like a pod racer. It's just this huge engine smacked onto a smaller fuselage. And then we kind of come in the back and we see the variable exhaust nozzles of the ship, and unfortunately the port side is in the dark and my light is not working, so we're gonna have to take an exterior ship tour of the ship once we get out of the space. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's hop inside this ship. So the right side enter ship. There we go, the door opened. We're now inside the ship. Oh, now my light wants to work. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the ship turned on and we'll do an internal tour in a minute here. Once we get started up and get off the pad, I definitely don't want them to store the ship. Alright, let's turn on the ship. There they are. Alright. So let's get an exterior view. Oh, those engines look good. Fire. Go ahead and lift up. Oh, listen to the sound of that. Looks really good there. I'm going to go ahead and retract the tricycle type landing gear. There we go. It fits neatly where it looks like almost like it would be an antenna or something. But it is not. As we fade across Hurston here, there is no like VTOL capability or anything like that on the ship. But from an exterior point of view, we already saw the starboard side. Let's go ahead and as we make our way to the back, we see the big piping that goes from the, I guess, the cold section of the engine over to the hot section where all the exhaust comes out and all that stuff. Let's give it a little bit of gas so you can see the flames coming out. Here's a little afterburner shot. So that's actually really cool. Probably the best thing about this ship is the engine. On the port side, we can see that it is symmetrical. We have our little tiny wings here. I don't know if they're going to really provide a lot of lift, but I do have some gimbaled weapons on there. I have some, it's a size 2 hardpoint, and I have size 1 ballistics on there. This is patch 313 that I'm doing this on. I know ballistics have been nerfed for 314, and I already did the rant about that, but I'm going to do a loadout for both 13 and 14 for this ship specifically. So on the right wing, I have the same type of weapon, and on the nose, I have a gimbaled, it's a size 3 hardpoint, I have a gimbaled size 2 Badger 227 repeater. But if you, whoops, I didn't mean to do that view. If you look here on the port side, there is no door. The door is on the right, so it's unique enough for having a door on the right side. Here's a top view of the ship. Almost has a fairly small cross section, but it's tall. It does have a unique profile. I've never, there's no other ship quite like this in the verse. Some of the statistics about the Drake Herald: it is a crew of 1 type of ship. It is not made for 2 people. Its role is that it's a data runner, and it's a medium data runner. Its ship size is small. It does not hold any cargo. I believe you can put a box in there if you do a box mission. It came out in Alpha 2.6. It costs about 1.1 million Alpha UEC if you buy it in game, and you can buy it at the New Deal shipyard in Loreville. You can rent it for about 23,500 Alpha UEC, or 8,500 rec per day. Oh man, I got the coughs today. The claim time is 4 minutes. Expedite time is 41 seconds, and it costs about 1,000 credits. This ship is time limited sales, but when it does go on sale, it's $85. So if you're into data running and you don't want to pay MSR prices, the Herald might be the option for you. There are a couple things that are planned for the Herald, and one of those is, these features aren't out yet, but they're planned for it, and one of them is an armored computer core. It will run on a dedicated server that can only be accessed from the secure control terminal inside the ship, and this will eliminate the threat of remote hacking into the Herald. The broadcast array, the SATA M6A1, which we saw on the pad, it's a high-power broadcast array that will allow long-range data transmission for both communication and emergency purposes. Data storage pods, all data placed inside the storage pod will undergo a proprietary encryption algorithm. With quick loading access ports, the data storage pods will be detached from the ship for delivery or emergency. So that's pretty neat. You'd be able to get rid of the pods if you had to. And lastly, EMP protection. The Herald will be equipped with an advanced rated EMP shielding and backup power to avoid total power loss in an EMP blast. So that's also great. The Drake Herald. Let's go ahead and take a look inside while we're traveling at SCM speed. Here's the cockpit of the Drake Herald. You can see our standard 313 HUD right here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 multifunction displays and a 2D radar. Starting from the left-hand side here, we have it's like a HOTAS setup, a throttle, and a cyclic stick here. Getting a whole lot of indications of what we can do. Oh, there we go. Okay, so on the right side, open exterior and press to unlock. Where's my power button? Keep getting to open the exterior. Oh, power is somewhere over here on the left area. That's where the power button's at. Probably somewhere over here on this side. The right, engine on, engine off, spool quantum. So not a whole lot of buttons going on, and then exit over here on the right. On the Herald, the glass. Actually, there's quite a bit of glass on the Herald. It's really good to see. You can't see really below you, but there is glass on the sides there if you needed to do that. So if you needed to see out those, let's go ahead and exit the cockpit area, and we'll take a tour of the interior of the ship. Very Spartan, very Drake, right? That's what I see. We see these storage capacity. There's radio wave protection. I don't think there's a whole lot of interactables in here. From what I can tell, here's our right side door with its ladder. On the left side, looks like maybe a storage rack for something at some point. Maybe weapons, maybe armor. I'm not sure. Over here is definitely some kind of a computer system storage rack. Looks like servers and things like that will be doing the data collection. Over here, same thing. Basically more radio equipment. And over here as well. Basically all along the seat here for the support section, which we'll get into in a second, but it does have its own screens and all of its own stuff that it can do. Heading towards the back, there is our toilet. It's not a shoilet, it's just a toilet. So if you do have to take a space dump, you can do that in your solo ship. In the very back of the ship here, there is a bed. Oh, there's a sink and a mirror as well with first aid treatment. But there is a bed here where you could log out on this ship if you want. That's pretty cool. Nothing else interactable around here, so let's go ahead and hop into the support seat. Let's say. Oh, the manual release for the long-range broadcaster. Anyway, let's enter the support seat and see what we can do. I imagine we have to turn power on something. Power on, exit, and exit. Huh? So right now, there's not a whole lot we can do. So there's no real menu for the data running yet. I'm sure that's coming. But right now, this is pretty much what we have. We don't have any other. It's not like the MSR where we're going to extend an antenna or anything like that. So just no gameplay associated with that right now. Okay, so that is the interior of the Drake Herald. Let's go ahead and get back into the cockpit and let's see what the ship does. I guess in some medium combat. The first thing we want to do before we get into that, though, is we're going to suppress our IR, which is fairly high right now. It's 7,900. We're going to suppress that down to 63, try to give us more of a stealth profile. I do have some missiles on this ship as well. Let's see. So here's my guns, my 2 yellow jackets, and my bags, your repeater, all gimbaled. And I have 8 Spark 1 missiles, size 1 Sparks, which are cross-section missiles. So, that should help in a fight. Our SCM cruising speed is 173.74 meters a second. Let's get to our max velocity here, as it's reaching it pretty darn quickly. Out in space. Looks like our max cruising is right at 1360 for our max velocity, which is pretty darn quick, I'd say. But it is a smaller type ship. So here's our, my primary fire is my ballistics. Secondary fire is the nose weapon, the repeater. So with that, let's find a mission. Let's see how all this all the stealth and everything works. Yeah, what do you guys think? Yeah, let's find a bounty hunter mission for. Should we go with the high risk target? Let's go with a medium risk target. This ship isn't really made to fight. It's not a fighter. It's not made to do fighting stuff. But you know, I would imagine that from time to time it would get caught up in some kind of a fighting space. So it has to be able to at least defend itself. But it does have these giant engines, so it can run. Right? It's a runner. It's not necessarily a fighter. So let's go ahead and head to Ida. Making our way through the Hurston system, and we'll just do a quick bounty here, and then we will check out the loadouts for 313, 314, and then we'll move on from there. So we have to go to an OM marker. Super dark here over on this side of Ida. It's weird because like 313's quantum system actually works. I've been playing the PTU for 314 for a while, and there's definitely some issues with their quantum right now. Hopefully they get that fixed before they drop it into PU. Okay, there's our target, about 34 clicks away. Let's speed coming up into here. Make sure we are in auto gimbal mode. We are. Lock, target, auto. Okay. We have our dashed lines around there. Kind of miss the velocity here. 13. Because of the different colors, it's really easy for me to pick out where my speed is at. Whoa, I'm getting close to rocks. I'm going to turn the lights on. Slow way down. Yeah, speed brake. So let's wait for him to spawn. Hopefully it'll be further away than what we think. We are stealthed right now. Okay. There's not really spawning yet. What else can we talk about while we're waiting for our enemy to spawn? Let's take another look at this ship around the asteroids. Oh, it's so quiet here in space. Probably have music playing on the video, but it's dead quiet. Floating out here, the asteroid. So the Herald was part of the $35 million stretch goal for Star Citizen's crowdfunding campaign. The goal for that $35 million mark in the Herald, the Kickstarter, was reached on December 22nd of 2013. And if you're wondering, the Herald is designed by Josh Coons and was featured in the ship shape of Around the Verse, episode 2.29 and episode 3.7. There was a different paint scheme with the Herald that it doesn't exist. You can't get it. But it was a blue and a red variant. CIG showed that up in the pre-sale live stream in 2016. They were only made for the presentation. So here is our contact here. He doesn't see us. So let's target him. Still doesn't see us, but we are above the max range of our missiles, so we really can't do... Oh, no, he sees us. He's heading towards us. We'll fire at him. Actually, let me grab my sticks here. Oh, I'm an a-hole, huh? See if we can get some missiles on him. It's a Cutlass Black that we're fighting here. Man, I kind of miss this version of combat here, to be honest with you. Trying not to get hit Not the most nimble ship in the world here, the Drake Herald. You know, Drake, there's no ejection seat or none of that stuff. But we are hitting him pretty darn well. Come on, Auto Gimbals, catch on to him. So I do like that the new bubble shields in 314 kind of make this a little bit easier instead of having to go through all this guy's shield facings as he rolls his ship. He'd probably be dead in 314 at this point. Yep, there he goes. So we're able to kill a Drake Cutlass Black. It's Drake on Drake violence, and I'm not sure if Jan Dredge would approve of that. But hey, we made 8,800 off of UAC for that. I don't think we're gonna wait on his buddies to show up, and I think we're just gonna make our way back to Hurston. And as I land and get some refuel, rearm, repair, and all that stuff, we're gonna take you over to the loadout of the Drake Herald. So stay tuned for that. And if you like this content so far, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and just stay tuned, and we'll be right. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the loadout section of the Drake Herald video. I guess I should actually bring up. So the reason this video has been delayed is because we're right in the middle of the patch cycle for the 3.14 PTU, and there are significant changes to laser and ballistic loadouts and all that stuff, and so I wasn't quite sure what to do. I was going to wait until the changes for 3.14 are finalized, but then I got to thinking that not that many people really utilize the Drake Herald, at least not right now until hacking gameplay is in. So I'm going to do something a little different because I'm on the DPS calculator at Urkel.games. I'm actually going to give you a loadout for both the 313 loadout and a 314 PTU loadout. I think most of the changes are pretty final for right now. I'm sure they'll change in the future, but I guess we'll have at least a general idea of what, at least what I would recommend. Obviously, you can build your ship out the way you want it. So with that, let's get into the base stats of the Drake Herald. As we can see, it's a medium data transporter type transporter. It's really a broadcaster hacking type ship. Size is 2. The hull hit points is 5,500, which is really low for the hull. I mean, obviously it's not a fighter, it's not a runner. I guess it's kind of a runner. It's got really big engine, but it is not made to fight at all. It's surprising that it has as much defenses as it does. Anyway, we can see it actually has really good top speed, but SCM speed is eh. The controls, pitch roll, and yaw are not great either, and it's standard size 1 type of capacities here for all this stuff. So for hydrogen and quantum, we can take a look at the weapons right now. 745 DPS with a stock loadout. Now in 313, what I would do, as you can see, we have 2 size 1 weapons or hard points here. Actually, they're all size 2. Yeah, every hard point. These 2 hard points are both size 2, so I would move them over to fixed. And this hard point, I would move to a fixed size 3, just to give you a little more oomph. Maybe with a ship that you're not going to really fight very often with, you want to stick with gimbal weapons just to have higher accuracy. But for me, I probably wouldn't do it. So I would probably throw a Mantis GT220 on the size 3 for a ballistic Gatling. And on the size 2s, I would probably throw an attrition chink. Because if you're going to fight, you're probably going to be closer in anyway. For the missile racks, this is a size 3 missile rack mount. So instead of going with 4 size 1s or 1 size 3, I would probably go with 2 size 2s for both. And so I would probably throw on the Strike Force 2s, which is probably one of the more powerful missiles in the game. You could go with the Dominator 2, but really, like, I have 2 type of builds for a Herald. My first build is typically it's a stealth type build, and then I have a kind of a loud and proud, don't care if I get seen type build. I think the Herald is much more of a ship that's doesn't have a lot of hit points, right? So I think being stealthy is probably the best thing for the Drake Herald. So we take a look at that. The attritions are not great for stealth, right? Maybe we rethink this, as we can see that the overall EM here is 2.35, and it's IR of 7 for the attrition 2. The 227 Badger is much better, but really, I'd probably even go with something real small, like an FL-22, or a Light Strike 2. Light Strike 2 is a little bit higher IR, so I'd probably go with the FL-22 laser cannon. You know what? We're doing this on the fly. We're gonna gimbal these. We're gonna go with cannons. Now, of course, this is not gonna be the best in a fight, right? But there's so many different options here. All right, we're gonna go with the fixed loadout. Sorry to mislead everybody. You could go with the gimbals, but yeah, I am changing my mind here. We're gonna go with FL-22s, and of course the GT-220. It has a really high IR temp, which maybe we go with that. We go with something like Shredder, which is a little bit better, or let's see, the Tiger Strike is pretty much the same as far as heat. Maybe we just go with a cannon, something with I don't like the mass drivers for this, or really the deadbolts. Let's say we go with a single Tarantula Mark III, lower our heat signature overall from the repeater, and that way we go with a cannon build, so it's a little bit slower to fire. As you can see, the shields, power plant, the coolers, they're all stealth grade C components. So let's look at where we are right now as far as EM and IR. We're at 2,525 for EM and 8,400 for IR. Let's try to reduce that by going with the highest grade stealth components. So for shields, that's Mirage. For a power plant, it is the Slipstream. And for coolers, that would also be the Snowlines. Atlas drives really, quantum drives really don't matter. I would probably go with something like an Atlas just for the price and the longevity of it. But certainly if you wanted to remain as stealthy as possible, you could go with a Spectre. Just realize you're going to be getting gas everywhere you go. So we'll go ahead and put the Spectre on there. It's still really high IR. The lowest IR we could get with our weapons is going with the Deadbolt. And with our laser cannons, let's see, 7.2, 4.8, 3.9 for the FL. The FL is the lowest. So something you can definitely think about is turning off weapons as you go into a zone, and that would negate all of the weapons, right? We assume our shields are charged, right? We're probably going to be maneuvering. But if we take out the weapons, then we can only assume that we're going to be a little bit less on the IR calculations. EM's actually pretty darn good at 1100. So this here right now, guys, is it's higher DPS than we had before. It's higher missile damage because there's less missiles, but I think that's a good trade-off there. And power is really good. Cooling is just under half, which is still good, and very stealthy. So this would be my stealth build for a 3.13 Drake Herald. Let's throw everything into the cart, check out what that costs. It's going to cost around 177,000, 178,000. Not too bad. Could be worse. Now let's go for something like Loud and Proud, right? Like if you don't care about stealth, I would definitely go with the GT220. I'd probably go with attritions on here. For shields, I would go to an FR66 and a Palisade combination. For a power plant, I would go with JS300. Coolers, I would go with my standard Ultra Flows. And for a quantum drive, I would go with the Atlas. That significantly bumps up our EM and our IR to 12,000 to 10,000. People are going to see you coming. It gives you quite a bit more DPS, from 800 up to 1302. Better shields, better overall power, better overall cooling. Just everybody will see you coming because it's not stealthy at all. So let's see how much this would cost. It's roughly 100. It's actually cheaper than the stealth component build. So 164,000. But again, you'll be seen more often, so expect more of a fight here. If once this gameplay becomes a thing. So let's go over to the let's go to the 314 side of the house. Now with 314, you guys got to remember, I don't know how accurate Urkel is right now. I know they're still working through some stuff, so take this build with a grain of salt. We have the same, the ship's the same thing. I would actually keep it as a gimbal all the way. I would probably go back to cannons though again, because I would want a stealth build, to be completely honest with you. Man, I just haven't really had a lot of time to analyze weapons. But I would probably say the Deadbolts. It looks like the Deadbolt, the Greatsword, and the Mark II, stealth-wise, they're all the same. In fact, the only thing that's changed so far is the range, with the Greatsword having a higher range. I think these stats are kind of eh. But just for past experience, I would go with the Deadbolt for a ballistic cannon. For the laser repeaters, I'd stay with probably the Bulldog, even though Urkel right now is everything has the same DPS. I don't know if that's the goal here, but these cannons are all the same except for like their stealth numbers. I don't think that's going to be a permanent thing. So I would just stay with the Bulldogs. Missiles, I would still go to size 2 missiles, but I think I'd mix it up with EM and cross-section. Oh, we have infrareds back again. For shields, doing a stealth build, I would definitely still go back with the Mirage. Although, looks like the Mirage is the least amount of health. Here is what it looks like. But it's still the grade A stuff. So, the cloak's a grade D. I don't know, maybe all this stuff's going to end up getting a rework. Not sure, but the Mirage is the stealthiest out of them. Power plants, I would say go with the Slipstream. Looks like it comes with it. Coolers, I would go with snow blinds. Coolers do have a difference, even though they don't really do anything right now. And for the quantum drive, we'll go with a Spectre, but you could easily go with an Atlas because it doesn't really. So this would be my 314 stealth build. Pretty decent DPS, and keeping in mind that this whole loadout here is gimbaled, so better accuracy, especially because you have repeaters and you have cannons. If you wanted to go with a laser cannon, probably end up again going back to the series, just because overall they have pretty decent stealth. Yes, overall would be the word I'm looking for. Maybe the Light Strike would be the better option. It's a little higher IR, but it's a lot lower EM. I think I would still go with EM. We'll stay with the cannon. Let's see. Power's not great, so don't expect to have a lot of power. Cooling is halfway. EM and IR are just not great, even though we're size 2 weapons. So I think there's still a lot of tweaking to do here. We're going to put this in the cart. The price of this stuff is 145,000 alpha UC. And then let's go ahead and do a loud and proud build. Keep in mind that this is, none of these numbers are final, and that's moving the system stuff around. We're going to go with FR66 shields and Palisade shields again. Stay with it. JS300 power plants. Coolers are going to be Ultra Flows. Atlas. And so this produces, well, it bumps up our stealth here, but it reduces the power overall is better, and the cooling overall is better. The shields are better. So again, a lot like 313, better to be in a fight with this. I'd probably also move over, if we didn't care, I'd move over to fixed weapons, and still on the gimbal. I would stick with my Gatlings, Mantis GT220, version 2s. There we go. So significantly better DPS, better damage, better shields, better everything, but a lot higher EM and IR, so everybody's going to see you. This build would cost 165,000 alpha UEC, roughly. Not cheap, but not super expensive. I've definitely done more expensive builds. So we'll see what this yields to in the future. And so thanks for watching so far. I know this has been a long loadout, but I wanted to get this video out of here, so maybe we'll do a recap later once we have more solid numbers for 314. But now we're going to go on to the RSI brochure, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys, so here is the Drake Herald brochure on the RSI website. Starting, this is the cover page here, FTL Courier Service. Introducing the Drake Herald. Keep in mind, this might be dated. When you select FTL Courier Service as your delivery method of choice, you can be sure that we are always seeking new ways to get your shipment to where it's going faster and more securely. To that end, we are proud to announce the newest addition to our expansive fleet, the groundbreaking Herald from Drake Interplanetary. Making a significant step forward in the interstellar data transfer, the Herald features unparalleled speed and protection. We all know that the transmitting data over the spectrum puts your personal information at risk. To ensure that your data remains private, physical delivery options like FTL Courier Service is the optimal method. Too often in the past, though, customers would have to choose between the speed of sending a comm or the security provided by a courier service. Now, thanks to Drake's cutting-edge vehicle design, you and your business can finally... this is a great picture of the Herald right here. It says comm speed, courier protection. Utilizing a combination of powerful dual-main thrusters mounted on its sleek frame and the industry gold standard Tarsus Leaper jump drive, the Herald is built to move your data faster than ever before. Equally important, more reliably, featuring wing and nose mounted armaments, full array of countermeasures, and its final deterrent, dual missile racks. FTL Courier Service's Herald will make anyone think twice before engaging our highly skilled pilots. Okay. If that weren't enough, the Herald is constructed with advanced electronic security at its core. That's true. From its secure release, external data storage pods, advanced rated EMP shielding, and backup power systems, you can be sure that we at FTL Courier Service value protecting your data as much as you do. If I was in a fighter going after a Herald, I wouldn't worry about him beating me in a fight. Just would. Easily outmaneuver a Herald. So I guess it depends who's trying to grab this data that you've collected. The Herald's advanced armor computer core runs on a dedicated server that can only be accessed from the secure control terminal. This makes the threat of remote hacking all but eliminated. As added protection, all data placed inside the data storage pod undergoes a proprietary encryption algorithm that means even if someone was able to get physical access to your info, it would remain virtually unusable. The command center, our trained and experienced FTL Courier Service Herald pilots undergo regular certification and are experts at flying these swift and powerful ships. While our policy is to always avoid trouble before it starts, if the situation calls for it, our pilots have the skills to use the Herald's arsenal to neutralize and escape threats, making sure your data is safe and sound. Here's a very bright white screen with different parts about the Drake Herald, where some of the missile housing, some of the stuff may have already changed. It looks fairly accurate, though, to what I've seen on the screen. Talks about the data storage pods here, which we looked at in the intro part of the video. The broadcast array for the SATA M6A1. High power broadcast array means that if trouble ever occurs during a shipment, the emergency communications network is the only common way. Remote data transfer options are available. Then data courier service options. Rapid Express. Data is uploaded to the Herald. Best-in-class encryption. Delivery window guarantee. Priority. The Drake Herald guaranteed as a courier ship. Data manually transferred to and from data storage pods. Best-in-class encryption. Delivery window guarantee. Which, by the way, is ** here, which is... terms and details of FDL Courier Services Guarantee and Protection Services. Please contact a business concierge management team member. And then on Rapid Express, it may not be a Herald. It says actual ship used, may vary based on. Then the Premium Protection Plus Courier Service, Drake Herald and an escort ship for ultimate security. Data manually transferred to and from data storage pods with armed escorts. Best in class encryption. Delivery window platinum gear. It includes gold standard insurance bonding provided by Eclipse Mutual, which is still the insurance company. That talks about it's like a Provilex type thing, but it's FTL, based out of Castra 2. That's pretty cool stuff. It looks like it'd be a real courier service. So there we go. That is the brochure of the Drake Herald. I guess it's meant to be a data courier / it is meant to ferry information. I think now we can move on to the space camera. Dogfighting by everyone's friend, JawaSparky, as he attempts to blow things up with a Drake Herald. We'll see y'all in just a sec. All right, folks. Well, this is Fist, and I wanted to thank you for watching the video on the Drake Herald. I'm curious to what you think about this ship. Do you like it? Do you own it? What is your, I guess, your view on, with hacking coming out pretty soon? Do you have any plans to buy the ship in game or buy it outright and do hacking gameplay, or are you, like data running gameplay at least, or are you more set on like the Mercury Star Runner and using Crusader ships that are maybe a little bit prettier? But, do you like this type of Drake ship? It's curiosity. But Jawa and I definitely want to thank you for watching, and it's been a lot of fun doing these videos, and I'm getting excited to finish up the Drake series, get the Caterpillar stuff done, and move on to the next series, which will be MISC. Actually, we're going to do MISC. So, Fist-25 for JawaSparky. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Like the video if you like the video. And we'll see you in the next one. Remember, if the fist don't get you, the lightning bolt will.